All right, shalom. So, hey, what's going on? So, this channel is dedicated to speaking the truth. And so, we want to do that when it comes to spiritual warfare, when it comes to film, whatever it comes to, right? When it comes to life. And so, one of the things that Yah has been putting on my heart recently is a lot of different things about spiritual warfare. And one of those things deal with crystals. So, we're going to talk about crystals, like the whole movement with the crystals, the idea of it, this and that, right? So there is I guess you would say on the streets, there is word floating around that crystals have the ability to heal you, to protect you, to, do whatever mystic thing that crystals can do. Now, we got to establish that, crystals and gems, they are in the scriptures. Like you can read, Revelations, you can see the jasper, you can see the different stones on the breastplate. We know about the Umar, in I believe it's Thumer. You know what I'm saying? Don't quote me, but that was inside the breastplate for the high priest in the old covenant time, in which they would do. And so, but a lot of people use that and they think that crystals, which is a creation of Yah, have inherent power. And so we want to do crystals have inherent power to heal, to protect, and do all this other mystic stuff? No, right? So we're going to just cut to the chase and get what it really is. It's a doctrine of demons, right? It's a doctrine of demons. And so much so, what, Yah has shown me just recently is that a lot of times when you start to hear that type of talk, the person that is talking that has a demonic influence in their life. Now, this could be in the background. This don't have to be blatant, but reason why. And so let's get into why. Let's get into the why, right? So I don't know. It was just like a couple. It wasn't that long ago, maybe like in the past week. Y'all was just dealing with me about crystals. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't really involve in crystals or anything, but it was just something that just kept coming up. And I asked Yahuwah, I said, what's the thing on crystals? Like, why is crystals such this big thing amongst the new age or the old age? Like, why is it such a big thing among people? And so what the Ruach impressed upon my spirit is, and I was like, wow, that's heavy. So I was prompted to go to Revelation and look at, they got the jasper, they got this, in the blessed plate, and they got all these things. And what Yah was revealing to me is that, in Shamayim, heaven, crystals and gems and different things, they exemplify the beauty of Yah. Meaning, actually, Yah put this thought on my mind. He was like, literally, there are some crystals and gems that the esteem of Yah shines through, and and it emits, or I don't even want to say emit. It how do you say? It displays the esteem of Yah. And so, and practically, let's just use this at, what am I saying, right? So if you take like a crystal, like some kind of gem, and you like take it and look and put it in the sun and look at it, and you had a wall or something, you would see like all these different shapes and different things like right there, right? So what Yah was putting in my mind, he was like, when his esteem goes forth, a lot of these crystals and gems, they reflect the light of Yahusha. They reflect the light of Yahuwah in Shamayim. And so it doesn't have, this innate power within it of itself. Because one of the thoughts, of people that believe in this superstition is they'll say, well, it's just neutral and it can hold negative energy or positive energy. And that's false, right? Because one of the things that the devil likes to do is he like to open your mind up to the possibilities of both. You know what I mean? Meaning that, when people say, okay, well, the yin and the yang, it's no yin and the yang. It's like good is not balanced with evil. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not on the same plane. You know what I mean? So like good, which is Yahuwah, like the devil's not neck and neck with, so there's no balance when it comes to that. So when they try to say, it's this, it's that. So that's another red flag. And so what Yah was showing me is that when it comes to these gems and different stones and things, they reflect the esteem of Yah. And so the devil being an imitator, guess what? He likes to imitate. And so he loves these crystals and he loves these different things to not to say, and I'm not saying that a crystal in it of itself is evil, but the thoughts that are applied to it, the spirits that are applied to it can be evil, right? And so let's break into that. So the thing is, when it comes to the crystal, the enemy is a imitator. So he loves, and demons love to use the crystal spirit. And when I say the crystal spirit, the ideology behind crystals heal and all this other stuff, they love to use that as a doorway passage because it emits a false light. And what happens is these crystals and gems become a portal for demonic oppression. So a lot of times you'll see a lot of Israelites, they're making jewelry. I'm not saying you can't have jewelry, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying, this and that, but a lot of times a lot of the spirits are connected to these objects. And so what happens is people have this innate thought in their mind that the demon has tricked them to believe that these stones have innate power in themselves, and it's an object. And so what happens is it becomes a portal for demonic oppression. And you'll see, now what's hot is, people use the copper, they use the copper stuff and they'll put the stone on it and put it around their neck and it's protecting me, from evil spirits. That's like when people burn sage and say, oh, well, the sage is, the demons don't like sage, so they spray the sage or whatever, or do the sage or whatever. Like these are thoughts. These are not just thoughts, but these are spirits, because ideas are manifested in, like, spirits are manifested in ideas. So this idea that a crystal has an innate power to heal, right? It is only the Ruach, or the Ruach HaKodesh, rather, of Yahuwah that has the ability to heal. Yahushua HaMashiach, right? And all else is imitation. So you can say, you can say food, you can say this and that, but ultimately all esteem comes to Yahuwah and his son, right? So just wanted to drop that, just wanted to share that, is that watch out for that. Watch out for that, because that is a sure way to have a lot of demonic oppression. And of course, anybody that's in it don't know they're demonically oppressed, whether it's their prayer life, whether it's, whether they not actually where they're supposed to be in life because they're getting jammed up. But somehow there's a portal open within their heart. So if you go to Deuteronomy chapter 18, verse 10, it says, there shall not be found among you anyone maketh his son pass through the fire, or that useth divination, or an observer of times, or an enchanter, or a witch, or a charmer, or a counselor, or a consulter with familiar spirits, or a wizard, or a necromancer. So this right here is speaking on, because it don't got to be, it ain't got to be no crystal. It could be a gem. It could be, a rabbit foot. You know what I'm saying? It could be a spoon. You know what I'm saying? Like, one of the things about the kingdom of darkness is they don't have legal rights. right? So they start off not having legal rights because remember when you read Genesis, right? When you read Genesis, the earth was given to man, right? And so in people's life, even though Adam gave the world over, you know what I'm saying? These spirits still need legality in order to operate. Just like how the police need a warrant to come in your house, right? They need because how the kingdom of Yahuwah is set up is that things are operated according to his word, which is his law, the Torah. And things can't trespass past his law, past his word, right? Just as he said, when he said the ocean ain't gonna go back this past this far. That's what it is. And so one of the things when it comes to believers, and most times is because people in the world they doing all kind of superstitious stuff. But then people that's believers, or claim to be believers, are getting into this superstitious stuff. And what's happening is these spirits now have legality in order to oppress them in some form or fashion. And what they do, how oppression works, is the enemy is work on a believer, right? On a believer that's somewhat in the way, whether they working toward it, they seeking truth, whatever. His goal is to get them to deny Hamashiach, in their heart, and for them to blaspheme and to be cut off, right? And so, what happened, and like I said, these things be running in the background, and they'll implement these thoughts, right, which are spirits in people's minds, in order to get them to make a covenant, in order for them to have legality, and they just start eating away on the ground. They start eating away on the person's mind, and just get more and more territory. Think of yourself as a land or real estate, and the enemy is trying to gain as much territory as he can until where he owns the whole property. You see what I'm saying? Because if he's only a little bit apart, he's there a little bit, but he's trying to get the whole property. And so these things and these type of thoughts allow the enemy to gain territory, which eventually allows him to take over the whole shebang. So wanted to keep it short and wanted to just dive into that. And if you are a user of crystals and this like has you feeling some kind of way, just pray about it, man. Just pray about it, and really see what Yah says. But yeah, look into that, man, because one of the things that is happening with our people is we not at full strength, and I'm talking about as a people because there are so many ways that the enemy is jamming the flow of the power of Yah, that people don't really know about, and so we may dive into more of that as Yah leads. But yeah, look into that. Crystals do not have the power to heal or protect you. Shalom.